Hi, everybody. Welcome to Trial Alchemy. Today, I'm delighted to have as my guest William Shapiro, goes by Bill. And Bill is the owner of his own office, law offices of William D. Shapiro. And he's been very successful as a trial lawyer for plaintiffs. I won't go through the entire CV, but to give you some highlights, Bill's a member of the American College of Trial Lawyers. He's a fellow. He is a fellow in the International Academy of Trial Lawyers and the International Society of Barristers. He's also, of course, a member of the American Board of Trial Advocates. He's been listed as in America's top 100 attorneys. He's won all kinds of Trial Lawyer of the Year awards. One that I think is a neat one is he was a Trial Lawyer of the Year for ABOTA, which is all the ABOTA chapters in California in 2015. And he was celebrated in Hawaii at the annual convention. So thank you for joining me on Trial Alchemy.
Well, thank you, Monty. It's always it's a pleasure to do your podcast, and I'm honored.
And now we're getting ready for the close and the final arguments. When you're in your final argument in front of the jury, what do you do to try to help them figure out how they should come up with a value for non-economic damages and what your client either has suffered or will suffer throughout the rest of their life?
Yeah, well, what I do is, number one, I use the verdict form, which a lot of us use, and I like to use the jury instruction 3905A, which outlines for the jury the elements and the component parts of what they must award if they find liability. And I put that jury instruction up on a PowerPoint, but I select each area that is identified in the jury instruction. Okay. And I put each area I segregate and put a slide up and I talk about it. So if you're talking about disfigurement, I talk about just what disfigurement is and the impact that it's had on this person's life, and grief, what it is, the emotional distress. Let's talk about those two words for a moment. We've all had it, but let's think about that and put it in the eyes of this person. And I put each one of those things down. Now, I've done it a bunch of different ways where I've actually created a slide where I identify each of those areas of the jury instruction, and then I put a life expectancy out. So if the life expectancy is of a person's 36 years or 31 years or 20, whatever it is, I talk about, well, what is it worth to have pain? What is it worth to have the kind of pain that you can't see it, but you know it's real? The doctors have said it's real. It's debilitating. It hurts, and all the evidence that you heard is that, and I put it in a how much? Well, to get Novocaine, the dentist charges you X number of dollars to avoid pain in Novocaine. So in some way, what I'll do is I'll calculate an hourly basis for the rest of this person's life for each of those slots of grief, of pain, of disfigurement. And when you put it down to an hourly basis, you think it's worth $10 an hour to be without pain? And that's a per diem way to do it. And when you calculate each of those segments up with the total hours, with the total dollars, it usually can work out to be a substantial number. Another technique is using what people equate with money. Okay, Ohtani just signed for 70, what was he? I think it was $700 million.
$700 million, yeah, with the Dodgers.
Yeah, well, that's obviously a 1 in a million guy, a 1 in 20 million guy. Right. But when you think about a Monet or a painting that's worth 40 million, and the reason is because it's one of a kind. It's a one of a kind painting painted by a one of a kind person. And just like the plaintiff's wife was, she was a one of a kind. And though you can equate those things and what people value as the value of money, I've argued that a curator of a museum was asked by a fireman was asked by a curator of a museum to go in to get a painting out of a room that was worth, it was a Picasso that was worth, $65 million. Please go and get that painting. And the fireman goes in to get it. And as he's reaching to turn right to go to the room where the painting is, he hears a little girl screaming. So what does the fireman do? Does he get the painting or does he help the little girl? Well, obviously he helps the little girl. That's the value of a life. Those kinds of analogies can be impactful on jurors. A lot of us have used the jet airliner, the ejection seat, to save a $100 million aircraft. They say, just pull the ejector seat, save yourself. Don't worry about the plane.
Yep.
You don't see the government saying, hey, ride that plane down. So those are analogies that we've used in death cases and in pain. You don't tell a client, hey,